Natalie Atan, aka Natu Mayat, and we are at Lakou NOU's Artist in Residence program. Lakou features different artists from or within Brooklyn. We have Flatbush representing, Canarsie representing, Crown Heights representing, and I'm part of the Canarsie collective. So Tanya, she's the one who brought me in. I'm an artist. My mediums are canvas, mixed media, watercolor. I also deal with natural products. So I have face oils and things like that. I'm a Reiki healer. So we had the expo last Thursday. I was doing Reiki. Offering Reiki for the collective, for the community. I also hosted a workshop where I was teaching people the importance of energy healing and offering simple ways that they can heal on their own, whether it's through sound frequencies, through sitting in nature, and working with practices like meditation, which really helps when it comes to regulating your nervous system.
Are you in a tradition? And what does carrying on tradition, your Haitian roots / African roots, what does that mean to you?
I thought about it. I'm Haitian. My bloodline deals with Haitian voodoo. I'm very familiar with it. The laws involved they walk with me. But when it comes to sticking with it within a system, within a set of procedures, that never resonated with me. So I see myself as a priestess. And when I step into priestess mode, that is when I'm doing my Reiki. That is when I'm lighting candles when need be. And for me, the work that I do is very much liberation based. So it's not oftentimes I do light work, but when it is, it's always to deal with liberation. So I deal a lot with pathway work. I do readings as well. For my readings, I like to speak to the blockages. So if you're on a pathway, what's your purpose? What's blocking you from that? What are the distractions? So my readings are not fun a lot of the time.
Yeah,
People
they're
come, they
telling the
want
truth.
people want to hear like
Like the cute
who's
stuff.
coming into my life or what's
Listen, can I say
Yeah,
this?
go ahead.
For all you people that go to these people that tell you that they're priests and they're this and they're that, a lot of them play with y'all. A lot of them you're wasting money on. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, what they're talking about. And then there's the genuine people. And the genuine people are here to remove the blockages. It's not about revenge. It's not about doing anything evil and hateful. It's removing things so that you can have a doorway for a pathway to open up for you to move easier through this lifetime to reach your destiny. So I just absolutely.
And yeah, you said it perfectly. And that's the type of work that I'm into. I work with pure hearts. So when it comes to people coming through, like, I have a problem. How's your heart doing? Have you been walking correctly? I'll involve myself in this liberation work. If you're receiving your karma, I'm letting the divine do what it got to do. So, like I said, this is an exhibition that features 4 main artists. Watson just did a monologue that dealt with spoke to the Haitian Revolution and spirituality, Haitian voodoo, and how it's been tainted throughout history.
I worked with Watson to write this piece as well as direct it, and it has a very personal story. Growing up as a Haitian American, my mother is Christian, my father is practicing a priest, and safe to say they didn't work out. So it's just me. But I was left in this void of what do I believe in, this organized religion that my mom was so passionate about, or my nation's original religion, the African diaspora, and being influenced by both directions. I feel like I always had this internal conflict, internal struggle. And so this piece is exactly that. This Christian man is being visited by the law and his dreams and in his daily life, and he's trying to figure out why is this happening to me? Why now? How do I go from praising God, praising Jesus, to all of a sudden praising Allah and reconnecting with my Christian roots? So it's a very passionate piece. I hope you all feel it. I'm excited for you to watch it, and we'll begin.
For the most part, but I must admit my faith wavers. I watch Haiti burn. Bon Dieu, I speak, I pray, and you listen. They use propaganda, slaughter our people, yet call themselves children of God. But tell me this, Lord. How does one serve spirits and not God? Who do I run to that poor believe in? Perhaps I should pray about this. I should pray about this. It's one last time. This piece is called Poto Bitan. The Poto Bitan and Voodoo ceremonies are utilized as somewhat of a portal for the Loas to come and mount some of the people within the ceremony. As you can see, in a portion of the piece, the character went through somewhat of a mountain. And here are different, offerings to the Loas and things of that nature. So yeah, once again, if you have any questions, I'm definitely happy to answer them once I get out. Thank y'all for coming.
My name is Watson Mir. I am the Lakou NOU Artists in Residence for 2024 in the Flatbush neighborhood. My project for my residency more so focused on aspects of Haitian spirituality and how they say a system and the beliefs and also some of the deities and entities within that system, show up in the lives of modern day Haitians. As I was doing my research and learning more about Haitian spirituality, I came upon the subject of the Potomito and how the Potomito is utilized within the Agro-Graffiti temple as a ceremony as a literal central pillar. What I found very unique and interesting about this literal pillar was that it was also utilized as a portal for the deity, the Loas, to come upon and mount some of the people within the ceremony. So that's kind of what's being presented within this piece. As you can see, we see the Potomita as it stands as a pillar. However, there are different colors. When you look at a lot of reference photos of the Potomitas, they're usually wrapped with these silk colors, and each color actually represents a different law. So as you can see on the top, the pink represents Erzuli Freda, the green represents Glambois, the blue represents Erzuli Dantor, the red represents Orgu, and the black represents Baron Samdi. But one thing that I found that was very interesting as I was doing my research is and also as I was looking at prior art about some of the Loas, I noticed they all had very distinctive eyes. I noticed that Erzuli Freda had very feminine, very loving, however, a hint of hurt within her eyes. I noticed that Erzuli Dantor, they literally call her Rouge, red eyes. Her eyes are very red, and she had such an intense look in her eyes. And in a lot of photos, she had tears coming down her eyes. And when you think about Baron Samdi, he usually wears a top hat. However, his face is made out of a skull, but however, he has piercing eyes with a pupil. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to show the eyes of these different Loas showing through the different scars. However, if you focus on them, you'll notice they're looking down. And what I'm trying to portray is they're looking down at the people within the ceremonies, basically looking to see which one of the people within the ceremony that they will mount during the ceremony. But what's really interesting, and you could take it with it as you may, if you look at Baron Samdi, he's actually, rather than everyone else is looking down at the people within the ceremony, but Baron Samdi is looking basically straight at you once you kind of look at him within the piece. So I definitely leave the piece open to interpretation, but that's I would say that's more so of the general summary of what the piece is about.
The project that I piloted was basically a mobile marketplace, studio, and gallery. And my Lakou was Canarsie. And of the 4 historic, Haitian, predominantly Haitian neighborhoods, it is kind of a little more removed, and the life there is very much like work, home. So I basically rented a truck and just curated it like it was a shop, gallery, space. Everyone that was in the truck has ties to Canarsie, lives in Canarsie. The reason I wanted to do a truck as well was thinking through the contribution of Caribbean folks, Haitians and Jamaicans largely, who brought dollar van culture to Brooklyn. There's a transit strike for 10 days, That was like the impetus for that. I called it Stardust Market. It's abbreviated. I'm pulling from Haitian Vodou art and objects. The use of sequins are reflective materials, and they're supposed to represent the stardust. And I use that as a predominant material in my work. So I'm weaving a lot of like my own self and project into a larger community project. People don't realize this is meant to be a seat. Like you can sit.
Oh, like I'm saying, look, I'm like this. I probably should have put it on.
You see someone left the
Yeah. So these are like my dominant materials, the sequin and then this, which goes back to the title Stardust Market. So I abbreviated it because I feel like spelled out Stardust, but it's a little sexier. I don't know. I'm trying to make that happen. It's represent Stardust, just like in Haitian Vodou art. Really more like spiritual objects, and the use of the sequence with the beads is because they're reflective. In the past, like old, like before the sequence came about, they used to use coins,
Right.
because they were reflective and also made noise.
Right.
They're supposed to represent like the cosmos, so like the Loire, all that. So I use that over and over again in everything.
So Tanya, as I mentioned, she's the one who brought us in. So 4 artists are featured in this particular installation. In the Caribbean, you'll notice what we know in Brooklyn as the dollar van. So the top, we have that in Haiti. So we had a truck where it brought in the idea of the marketplace, the mobilization movement, and having art within the truck. So everything installed here was exactly how the truck looked, and she basically put it back, and she just set it up here like this. And then we had Christopher. He's a leather goods maker, and he has a purse here. He was running a leather goods workshop last Thursday. We also have Racino Okan, so Roots Band. They did a live performance last Thursday. They were amazing. It was electrifying. A lot of my works reflect liberation. It reflects identity, culture, looking into different dimensions of space, self-love, leisure, and healing. Most of all, healing. I am a Reiki healer, so a lot of healing goes into my art as well. So, are you recording some of what's going on? So you can tell them about where you're.
This is a timeline of Haitian social action movements based in East Flatbush. They cover the decade of 1990 to 2000 and 3 moments. This periodical and picture is from FDA Blood Bank in April 20th, 1990. This march took place 35 years ago this year. These next 2 stories are police violence against Haitian immigrants. So back here where we have made a shrine out to Patrick Dorisma because this is the 25th year that since his passing. We also included other notable deaths by the NYPD. Because this issue is a Black and brown issue. It's not just a Haitian issue. So we have Anthony Baez here, Amadou Diallo. Both of their parents came to Patrick Dorisma's funeral, which was at Holy Cross Church in East Flatbush. This is Anthony Merizier, who was killed afterwards, but I couldn't find a lot of information on him, which is why I wanted to include him because he seemed like he was getting erased. And here, Malcolm Ferguson, he was shot 2 weeks before Patrick Dorisma was. And when you step back, in all of these deaths, no police officers went to jail. No one did any jail time. So none of these deaths were avenged, if you will. So when we turn our pad back on, this actually is a video clip from outside the church right before the riots. So, but the best image you can get for it right now, just to get an idea of how many people were outside that church. And the funeral did end in a clash between the people and the police. But it was supported by like the Nation of Islam. Like there were so many, the ACLU, Sharpton. These 2 stories happened when New York City switched from David Dinkins to Rudy Giuliani. And the sentiment became very anti-Black at that moment. And so we started to see an uptick in violence. There are other stories. So you can read all the full stories at this QR code. The website is r2reastflatbush.com.